Suppose there are days when your call is touch of gray. That's when you call me and know just what to say. We go out and on the night. We jump and touch the light. We dance and we don't sleep until we die. We don't have to worry. Drink up the night, it's early. Keep dancing, dancing, just running right.
All right, what's up, guys? It's your girl Mitch Gaming, and we are officially back for the PUBG Mobile East Africa Clash Games, and we are in the semi-finale. It has been a long time. We took a short break. I hope the teams are ready. I hope people got to prepare their teams. They practiced, they trained, and now they're ready to compete in the PUBG Mobile East Africa Clash Games. We are just beginning. We are in Rozok. Already, we have two teams together. We have Later Esports and Project X. Probably we're going to be seeing something happening there. But if you're already here in the live stream, I hope you are ready because there is going to be a good amount of damage happening tonight. There is going to be a lot of not damage, but really violence, because the teams are now ready because they're this close, one step to making it to the finale and starting a chance of winning something from the $2,000. And when I look at the safe zone right now, it seems to have gone to the southern side of Erangel. Our military base there is a little bit crowded. Fairy Pier will also be empty because no one landed on that side. But as you can see, every single team right now is trying to retreat, trying to go towards the safe zone, just to be on the good side. Just to be on the good side of the game. They want to see how they're going to make it to the finale. Of course, Project X there really needs to try for today. Not even Project X alone. Every single team tonight has to try their best because everyone is starting from 0 points. No one is starting with any points ahead. Everyone's points have been reset because these are the semi-final games. You can see Ocean Galaxy already seems to be taking on a fight. MRU are losing a couple of players there. We can see at least two of them have been taken back to lobby. We have Invincibles here, a team from Kenya. We also have Rexcode as well from Kenya. We can see Project X there, Madagascar, are just going to try and maybe find their balance because I don't think Madagascar has a good amount of teams in the game there. So they really need to pull up their game and ensure that they make it to the finals. We have TDS Power. They're trying to go towards Invincibles. Probably not going to happen tonight because Q there has decided to go as far away as possible. We have Zaba there as well, trying to cap it out. And again, if you're already here, make sure you're liking the live, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and share the live stream link. Make sure your friends come to join us here. All right, sorry about that. So we can see we have Ocean Galaxy. I need to prove their fun there that they can actually live up to their name and not disappoint them. We have Panda as well, seem to be losing players. Static Extreme team. It has been a while. Of course, we have taken a very well-deserved break. We have teams maybe went to get their practice on. We had the teams that went to play the Ramadan Cup, so that should have been enough practice for them. But then Godly, final boss, that is final boss, losing players as well. We have TDS Power, just right around where we have the teams crossing the bridge there. We also have people might be going towards Novo, just to be on the safe side for them. But let's give it time and see how this plays out. Are we going to be having any fights happening, any early eliminations? Because so far, so good. Not a single team has been taken back to lobby, even though the final boss team, has just one player remaining in the game. TDS Power still scouting around where we have the bridge next to Novo. They're waiting for a team to go closer to them. So I'm just going to give the map a quick peek to see what is happening. The zone is already moving. Later eSports just moving from Rozok there. We have teams in Milta Power. They need to start moving. That is Rex Squad and RRG as well. They need to start going towards the safe zone. But every other team as of now is in the safe zone. Some of them have managed to cross the bridge. Others haven't crossed the bridge yet. That's going to be a little bit tricky for them, and I'm hoping they have a strategy for that. And finally, we have another fight happening there. Milta Power seems to be having something happening there. RRG, that is Rage Esports engaging against Rexco there. We can see what Polo is up to here. There's a lot of tension there. We can see the damage. Another knock in. Polo does get knocked there by Zaxes. I mean, the shotgun is always winning when it comes to the East Africa games. We have seen this happening to and fro. People are confident with their shotguns. Rexco taking on Rage Esports. We're just beginning, and Rage Esports needs to be careful because they might be the team that will be taking back lobby as early as the first phase of the zone. We're almost going to the second phase, 17 seconds, 15 seconds actually. And the zone is about to close in again. We also have Invincibles taking on MRU Esports. So right now, no one is safe. Everyone needs to make it to the finals. And if it means having a fight happening as early as now, then why not? Because that's what's happening right now. Rex Squad, usually when we have been watching from the group stage to the qualifying stage, they basically avoided every fight. Usually we'd have them coming in to fight at the end of the game, but then when it comes now to the semi-finals, it seems like their strategy has changed. It seems like they wanted to be more on the safe side. That is, make sure they're getting as many kill points as possible, and that's why we can see they have chosen to take on a fight there against Reg Esports. We have now a 4th strength. They're trying to make it to the safe zone. They're actually in the safe zone. For the teams that are outside the zone, let me just have a quick peek at what has happened to the zone. It has closed in. That means everyone again is going to be forced to cross that bridge. You can see on the side of Novo, TDS still holding it. Nothing is happening there. A lot of them are just keeping it safe. They don't want to move, let's say, a muscle, because if you move, then you're basically going to be exposed. And for now, no one wants that. Again, not a single team has been taken back to lobby. We still have the 16 teams in the game. Every single team right now has a role to play. Everyone is going to have to find a way of surviving this, to be honest. And if you do not have a way of surviving, then what I tell you is just run. If you can run, run. That's all I can say. That is all can happen there. We can also see some rage fans there in the comment section giving their team their big shout out, hoping that they can perform and as well make their fans enjoy tonight's games. We have later eSports. They are just trying to make it to the bridge there. They're going occupy. There's a lot of teams happening there. We have the Magicians taking on the players from Ocean Galaxy. I mean, we have every single country being represented here. We cannot see Tanzania and Uganda, unfortunately, but I'm hoping maybe they'll be in the other groups in case there is a slot for them. But it would be nice to see them coming back on board and surprising us and making us have a good time as well, shouting out Tanzania and Uganda. But for now, a big shout out to every single country that has made it to the semi-finale. It's not an easy thing to be here. It's not easy to go against every single team that made it through the 2 stages. That is group stage, the qualifying stage. It's not easy. It was never easy. But then we have a Project X team just passing by here. We're going to be seeing what they're going to be doing. Are they going to be taking on any fights or not? So let's see how that works out for them. Is there going to be any early fights, any eliminations on their end? And actually, oh, that's quite unfortunate. Ocean Galaxy have been taken back to lobby too early in the game. They're the first team to touch grass when it comes to the first day of the semi-finale. That means Ocean Galaxy, GG's to you guys. Hoping we'll be seeing you guys when it comes to the 2nd game, 3rd game, and the 4th game. We're going to be having 4 games tonight in the semi-finals. Already Ocean Galaxy losing the 1st game might not be a good look for them. I think they'll need to find a better strategy just to keep the points up. Every single team's points have been reset, and need to put in mind, they need to understand that they need to have their points up every single chance that they get, because if they don't do that, then it will be quite unfortunate to have them not making it to the finale. I'm going to take again just a quick look and see where the zone is going to take us. What is happening? We have later esports just there, Crossfire Repair. We have Generation Z coming towards that side as well, and there's another team coming from the north-western side of Erangel. They're just coming towards the sides of Gatka. We have a team closing on that side. We have, when it comes to farm, the bridge there in Novo. We still have TDS holding that bridge. Rex Code using the water to make it to the zone. Quite a tricky move because they have 2 teams on that bridge. If they're spotted, then there's no way they're going to be making it to the safe zone. Military base as well, a little bit crowded. You have the Magicians. They're trying to see if they can get any damage happening on their end. But let's see how this is going to work out. So far, so good. Military base still has the Magicians moving around, trying to make it to a safer zone when it comes to this game. But looking at the bridge next to military base, surprisingly, no one is gatekeeping that bridge. Every single team has gone towards military base. They have left that bridge open enough for Project X to go from that side to the side of military base. So that's also a very lucky day for Project X. But when it comes to Generation Z, they have a team right next to them there. There will be a fight happening. Rex Squad still on the same move, using the water to make it to the safe zone. Military base still as crowded. So, I mean, this is just the first day of the semi-finals. You can see what is happening. Generation Z are losing players. We have Neon Force having a team right next to them as well. and they need to be careful because what is happening in these games is that no one wants to engage. Rex Squad engaged in a fast fight. Ocean Galaxy, unfortunately, they're the first one to be eliminated. But then the zone in this game is not having it at all. No one is having a good time. You can see what is happening to the zone. Everyone will be forced to go to the southwestern side of Erangel. You can see Rex Squad, they're losing to the zone one by one, getting damaged. Zaxes gets knocked as well. They have just one person remaining. That is Arnie, still as low as everyone else. Another team there that's Touch Grass taken back to lobby. TDS are still waiting for people to cross that bridge. The zone is getting smaller. Fourth phase of the zone will be a little bit intense because these teams will be forced to get closer to each other. Of course, the fight will be happening there concurrently. They're going to be, and there's going to be a need to be a little bit alert when it comes to the fights that are going to be happening, because as you can see, everyone wants to come to the safe zone. I can still see Generation Z, Project X far out in the zone. I don't know what their plan is, but they need to start moving as early as now because every single team right now has just crossed the bridge. They have made it to the safe zone. Invisible eSports passing by on the southwestern side, the lower side of military base there. There's going to be a lot of fight happening, but we have at least 3 teams here. We have later eSports and Neon as well getting some damage there as they try to make it to the zone. Invincibles are losing players. We saw them doing the rotation there. So I'm trying to wonder what is happening on the end because a lot of teams are now close to each other. Beautiful sprays there. Later does try to get some damage there, but then Danger doesn't really get anything happening because the team there is using the ridge, trying to make it to the safe zone. 2 teams already are in the lobby. 14 teams remaining. So that's also a very interesting thing to see because, I mean, we're just in the first day of the semi-finale. Teams are trying to play as safe as possible. Some are going a little bit aggressive, but most of them are playing a passive gameplay. They don't want to engage in any fights, but then Never Die Esports does get one of their players knocked there. And we have 2 players remaining from Never Die Esports. They need to get the revive before anything happens. 2 seconds in, and we're going to the 4th phase of the zone. Nades getting cooked there. Smokes, of course, from the teammate from Never Die, trying to get some cover on their knocked teammate Love. And we can see that Neon right now trying to go for that push. The nades are flying from Never Die, sorry. Trying to get some damage on Klaus there. We can see Parajin trying to get more damage with the nades, but then they're not really connecting. Does get a Kobe there. Klaus is down. Tries to cook up a second nade just to make sure it confirms that knock. But then Neon Rising, I don't know what their plan is, but they need to start rethinking their strategy. Rex Squad there, unfortunately, the zone is not their friend. The rotation they were making was just not it, of course. So if you're going towards an enemy team, you have to think it through. We need to make our rotations early. The zone is closing in. What will be our next move? We have their Parjin trying to cook up more nades there on the players from Neon Rising. We might be seeing a flank there. Parjin still tries to make sure his teammates can survive, trying to get as many knocks on that team from Neon Rising. But then their teammate's mine wasn't able to get revived. Stella is also down. Love is next to their teammate. They might be able to get some revive happening, but then let's look at what Lambron is up to. Trying to cook up a nade there. We have a Kobe. The nade is, of course, not really that cooked, but then it's landing where we have Never Die Esports player Parajin. The nade does come in again, does land close to him, but then doesn't really get a Kobe. That means the position that he is in right now is just making sense to him alone, because when you can see Lambron here trying to cook up as many nades as possible, not getting a single knock in or any damage on Never Die Esports player Parajin. We have their Neon Force, Tony just watching there from afar. His teammate Klaus is down. They have a team right above them. They're trying to make it to the zone. Military base is surrounded right now. Neon Force has to be careful. Teams are basically literally everywhere. Everyone is exposed to unnecessary fights, and I don't know if they're going to be able to survive this or not. We have Lambron there, just keeping it safe, just taking his time there, waiting for a chance to see what is going to be happening. Are they going to be taking on these knocks? Are they going to be taking on this fight? Generation Z Kevin player does get knocked, but his own Thomas as well does get knocked. I mean, their rotation was a little bit late. And seeing how the safe zone was, it was towards the southern side of Erangel. A lot of damage is going to be gotten from the zone. And you can see Generation Z actually lost the game to the zone. It's not even that a team is the one that was knocking them or something like that, but it is just the zone taking Generation Z back to lobby. That is quite unfortunate, to be honest. Honestly, Generation Z, I hope the next game they do make the right rotations. They need to re-strategize and think through their game. Was this late rotation worth it? Because as the viewers, we can see that it was not worth it. We have here TDS. They have a team right next to them. A lot is happening right where every single team is right now. MGC, the Magicians getting spotted by TDS. Blood here trying to get some damage on that end, but then it's not really working. Does get on that rotation. But then TDS Power, they have all their teammates in the game. Mag is the only player that is actually very much damaged. Another team, of course, does go back slowly. That is Never Die Esports. Seems like Parajin was not able to keep it up anymore. He tried to save his teammate as much as possible. He got the nades, he got the smokes, he gave them cover, he got those knocks with the Kobe's. But then unfortunately, that did not work out for him. And now we have just 11 teams remain in fourth phase of the zone in the next 30 seconds or so. We're going to be moving to the fifth phase. A lot of damage from the zone will be experienced by these teams because they're not making the rotations yet. Everyone is scared of the other team. No one wants to lose this game. I can smell the $2,000, and there's no way I'm going to expose myself to any fight. And Generation Z, unfortunately for them, I think they were overwhelmed with the thought that they need to get their points up. They were unable to cross the bridge. They were unable to make the rotation. They were quite late. They had a team right next to them. A lot happened there for Generation Z. So we're trying to wrap our heads around it and what really happened there and why they not cross the zone. But then the zone does close in again, does go to an open field. Only one team is in the safe zone. That is 4 strength. And Neon does get on the kills there from MRU. ZEUS, final boss as well, have been taken back to lobby. 8 teams remaining. We have TDS Mag just trying to repair his vehicle there. ATLMAGICIANS have the players from Neon Rising close to them. They also have a lot of teams actually might be going towards them because TDS as well is close to them. So we're going to be seeing how that plays out. But we have Project X spotting a team right next to them. They're trying to keep it safe. The zone is about to close in again, and they need to start moving. They have a team on their left side, also going to be a little bit tricky on their end. But we're just going to wait and see what happens because later esports right now is making a rotation on the farther side of the safe zone, trying to make it closer to the zone. They have Project X in front of them, Neon Rising right next to Project X. We have DRM next to Neon Force, TDS and 4 strengths are in zone right now. They are a little bit safe, but you can see what is happening there. Neon Force being taken back to lobby. Project X still holding the same place. They were right next to Neon Force at the beginning. Their Project X was sandwich, but then Neon Force, unfortunately for them, this is just not their game. Team SOLOMID, they're the team that was actually next to the players from Generation Z. They made it hard for them to make it to the safe zone. They were taken back to lobby by the zone. We're going to be talking about Generation Z for quite some time now because what just happened there? How did Generation Z lose a game to the zone? That's something we need to be looking at and just to see why that was the case or why that happened. So that's something we're going to be talking about later on before we take our break. But for now, our teams are trying to get a lot of damage here, trying to stop each other from making it to the safe zone. We have Team SOLOMID that they're just looking at the players there. They're trying to get as much damage as possible because later esports is also closing in. Project X are still above where we have the players from Team SOLOMID. The later esports player Tix does get spotted. The damage in the bag is actually damaged. Might be the thing that knocks him. And you have a knock there. TDS Lemon does get a knock fast knock in on the players as they try to get their revive. I don't know what TDS will be doing right now. You can see what is happening. One team is in the safe zone. In the compound, that is 4 strength. The zone has shifted. They need to start moving, but that is not going to be possible. But you can see later esports holding it down. 4 strength, third party in the fights, getting damages on Rage Esports. We have Project X player. Knight is down. Klaus watching from afar. The sprays are connecting. The damage is there, but we do not have a knock yet. The nades there, it is like what is not happening. The player there from Rage Esports is not having an easy time. The nades, we cannot keep up with the nades, but then TDS there does get to take on a Rage Esports all the way back to lobby. I was unable to count how many nades those were, but that looked more like a man feeling because those nades were too much. But it's just what happens when you're playing the competitive scene there. We have TDS esports trying to smoke up themselves, trying to be in the safe zone. A military base right now. There is no compound that is safe to be holding. Team SOLOMID getting more damage on Tix again. The first time they were able to get a knock on him. And now as they're trying to make it to the safe zone, you can see how much damage has been registered. We have Lemon trying to get the cover there on his teammates. Later esports right next to them as well. We just have 5 teams remaining. Every single team right now needs to put their best foot forward because it is the first day of the semi-finale. Project X player Kurt does get a knock on his teammates. That is quite unfortunate. Cut, I just said good. Yeah. But yeah, we have later esports. Just watching Project X from afar. They're trying to make it to the zone, but then, I mean, it is not going to be easy. Area, they are quite low, and we have later esports spotting him as he try to make it to the zone. And that's get the knock there. We have more damage from later esports, spotting the players from Team SOLOMID. They're trying to make it to the zone, but then the zone is no one's friend right now. The damage is actually high. Team SOLOMID player might not be able to make it to the zone, and there we go. They have also been eliminated. 3 teams remaining. Nades and offline in TDS. Might not TDS, later esports might be forced to do their thing here, trying to survive. Later esports going for that flank there. We have TDS Lemon getting knocked, Nades flying in again from later esports. TDS Mag is down, Hulk just by the edge of the zone, smoking himself out, trying to be safe. 3 teams remaining, 4 strengths. For them, they have played a safe game from the beginning. They have not engaged at any single point. They have been waiting for the right opportunity. They got the third-party knocks. They did get to steal a couple of knocks in the third-party fights. So, of course, that's something we're going to be seeing if it was worth it or not. But we have later esports getting the flank there, Bomboclat. There's that name, Bomboclat. But we have him just trying to change his position. They're trying to get some flank happening on the players from TDS. Mag is still down. Klaus does get knocked by the player from later esports, that is Sticks. And now the violence has finally begun. 4 strength, having just 2 players remaining. Later esports, so leading in terms of numbers. They have 3 players in the game. Might be an advantage for them, depending on how they try and get the rotations happening, how they get to push and get their knocks and confirm their knocks as well. But then TDS Hulk does get spotted again by late player damage. And now just 2 teams are remaining. 4 strengths right now needs to go towards a later esports. Initially, we had 4 strength being the team that had the best location. They were the ones in the compound when the zone was safe. But now the tables have turned. They need to go towards later esports. Later was sandwiched from the beginning of the 5th, 6th zone. They were not able to move because everyone was literally everywhere. 4S goes for that push. And I mean, the Solfay there from Texas get the knock there. ZEUS trying to make it to the better place. But then unfortunately for him, nothing can be done because later esports, leading in terms of their position, are able to take him all the way back to lobby. And that is quite unfortunate. These things happen as well. Teams get eliminated, unfortunately, without expecting it, and these things happen. So again, big shout out to later esports. It was quite challenging, to be honest, to be able to get those fights happening. But then, you know what? GG's to you, later esports. Congratulations for that win, for that beautiful winner chicken dinner. You all deserved it. It was quite tricky, to be honest. A lot of fights are happening here and there. Later esports was sandwiched, but then they did finally make it, and they were able to get the fight happening. They were able to composure. I mean, I always talk about composure, and that is exactly what later esports had for us. They had composure, and they were able to get their winner chicken dinner. So then again, congratulations to you, later esports. For strength, unfortunately, things do happen. You get the first safe zone, but then things change, and unfortunately, the win was not yours for this game. Looking at the winner chicken dinner team stats for later esports, you have Bomboclat there. 4 eliminations, 478 damage. Tix getting 3 eliminations, 453 damage. Danger getting 4 eliminations, 339. And we have Ramo, 0 eliminations, 0 damage. Unfortunately, you can see he survived for 24 seconds. That does tell us that Ramo was not there to play till the end of the game. But then luckily for him, teammates like Danger, Tix, and Bomboclat were able to give him the push that he needed. They were able to fight, even as a trio, all till the end of the game, and they were able to get their winner chicken dinner. We have them bagging 21 total points for that game. I hope they keep on the same spirit. TDS getting 14, Team SOLOMID 10. We have Force Strength 6, Project X 5 with ATLMAGICIANS and Neon Force. Rage Esports are getting a 4. We have Aesthetic Extreme 3 tying with Invincibles. Ocean Galaxy 2, ZEUS Final Boss tying with Hyper Z. Rex Squad at 2, Never Die with 1. Together Generation Z at 1 point. That was quite unfortunate, to be honest, for Generation Z. They were not able to help themselves there. The zone was not their friend, and they were taken back to lobby. So GG's again to you, Generation Z. We have man of the match, and that is Slime. From Team SOLOMID, that gets 5 eliminations, dealing a damage of 650. Doesn't have any assist, but then his survival time 21 minutes and 23 seconds, getting 4 knockouts for his team. So GG's again to you, Slime, from Team SOLOMID, for getting the man of the match the first day in the semi-finale. Looking at the head-to-head there, we have later eSports getting 11 eliminations, with TDS Power getting 9. 1,270 damage dealt on later esports, with TDS getting 1,069. Total knockouts on later esports 8, with TDS at 6. Total time in the blue for TDS Power 1 minute and 56 seconds. Well, I mean, it has been a very interesting day, to be honest. And we have seen the rotations, where the zone has gone, what happened from the beginning of the game. We had a Generation Z. Surprisingly, they had a chance of crossing the bridge, okay? But then they chose not to. I don't know how that happened, why they went back. They went back, they went far away from the zone. They had to come back. Team Solomid coming from the back, they're getting the damage on these guys. So I am still trying to wrap my head around what happened there. And then Ocean Galaxy as well, they had a good time. They're just surrounded a little bit there. They were getting the knocks, the thirsts, but then they did not really get to survive, because a lot of things happened. A lot of unexpected fights came their way. And Ocean Galaxy, unfortunately for them, they were taken back to lobby. So again, GG's to you guys. But you can see what happened there. The rotations and every single move the teams made just to make it to the last fight, where we had later esports. You can see they came from fairy pairs. That's actually quite impressive, to be honest. And they came to 4 strength, who were in the safe zone from the beginning of the game. From the beginning. But then later esports came directly all the way to where 4 strength was. They got their fight there, they got their damage. And it happens, to be honest. It happens sometimes. You get your strategy right, but then that's not really the case. For 4 strength, they had the zone, they had this the compound. The zone decided to move, decided to make it a little bit hard for these guys. Later esports had every single team passing by them. You can see their teams are getting closer to them. Fights are happening, but later esports did not lose a single player. They were a trio from almost the beginning of the game, and the same trio is the same that got the winner chicken dinner. So it has been a very interesting game. The zone rotations were very surprising. So yeah, well, that is it for game 1, guys. It was a Rangel. I'm hoping to see you guys in the next game. Just make sure you do the necessary, that is like, share, and sub, and we'll be seeing you guys in a few. BRB. right, welcome back, guys. We are in the second match of the night. That is Miramar. We have watched Erangel from the beginning of the game till the end. We saw some teams, unfortunately, got a wrong strategy happening. Yeah. And when you look at the flight path there, we can see it coming. It's basically leaning on the eastern side of Miramar. We have the flight path basically starting from El Hazar all the way to almost the southern side, because we're going to be seeing teams are going towards places like prison just to be on the safe side, just to avoid as much fights as possible. And to be honest, whatever works for you. Game one was actually very interesting. How the teams like Four Strengths, they got the safe zone right. They made the right call. The IGL made the right call when the game was beginning. They landed at the safest place that anyone could have landed in this game, because they were there. They landed. They stayed at the southern side of Orangel. But now, when it comes to this game, I don't know if you're going to be seeing the same strategy from Force Strength. Are we going to be seeing another IGL coming up with the same calls as the Force Strength IGL, and then giving them the best places to land and just holding it from the beginning till the end of the game? But anyway, as the teams go to their landing spots, we have to give a big shout out to GPE Esports for this beautiful production. Thank you so much, GPE. If you want to reach them, just write the same name, GPE Esports, and you can have them on Instagram, DM them, or even on Discord. And for our sponsors there, we have Esports Somalia Association, we have Viva Rose Foundation Kenya, we have Kenya PUBG Mobile League Kenya, and also one of the players from was a competitive player but then stopped. That is none other than N8 Bravo. So thank you guys there for contributing, supporting the PUBG Mobile East Africa Clash and getting to make this thing happen. We have a Rex squad already losing one of their players, that is everyone. That means it's a little bit crowded where they are right now. We have Arnie just trying to load up his weapon here. You can see him with a shotgun as well as the Scar L. And we have a Rek Ani, still the same place, but his teammates are moving around. You can see Neon coming closer. I don't know what happened to Ani. To be honest, I think he was just trying to stay quiet because he didn't want to expose that he's here. But then, I mean, you're surrounded by 4 players, so that means even if you try to, hold it and not expose them yourself, that wouldn't really work, because if they come, they're coming in as 4, and sometimes it's not that easy to get 4 players down by as an individual, and you don't have enough loot. You just landed, your vest is damaged, your helmet is maybe 1, but it is what it is there. We can have a quick look at what is happening to the zone right now, where people have landed. Impala has a couple of teams there. 2 teams have landed in Impala, and probably a fight will be happening there. We have Valdemar, we have 1 team there. Generation Z, this time round, luckily for them, they're actually closer to the safe zone. That means they're going to be moving to the zone a little bit easier compared to the previous game. We have teams in Junkyard, that is TDS, El Azhar as well. There's a team there. We are going to be seeing what they're going to be up to. Rex squad right next to them with Neon Rising at the same place. Places like Los Leons, of course, we usually have a team landing there. We have the Rage Esports right there. We have Project X not that far from them. So of course you're going to be seeing what happens there at the end of the day. We're going to be seeing any violence or something like that. But we have Invincible's players here, Russian, really damaged, and they have the players from Aesthetic Extreme. These 2 teams have gotten chicken dinners before in the previous stages while we were playing in the not really Invincibles, no, but when it comes to Aesthetic Extreme, they actually got 2 chicken dinners in a row during the group stage. I don't know if they're going to be looking for a chicken dinner when it comes to the semi-finals, because semi-final is not as easy as it looks when you're playing the qualifying stage and the group stages, because right now you're going against every single team that made it from the group stage to the qualifying stage. Invincible player Russian, they are trying to see how are they going to be going for that push on Aesthetic Extreme. You can see smokes have been thrown towards their bag there. Zaber also retreating. That means they have decided not to take on this fight, and they want to change their position away from Aesthetic Extreme. So we're going to be seeing whether that's going to be working or not, because Aesthetic Extreme as well, they seem to be holding out in terms of that push there. We have Federal trying to get closer. Invincible's players still retreating. But then Russian, surprisingly, does stay back. just holds the same building, waiting for the players from Aesthetic X team to get closer. I believe he has notified his teammate. There is a push happening now. You can see they're trying to get closer to their teammate Shakid here. Trying to cook up a nade. Zabra does get closer to the player from Aesthetic Extreme, but we don't have anything happening there. The nades are from Russian are not really connecting. He's still trying to cook up a second nade just to see what happens there. But we have a knock. Actually, the nades are almost getting the players from Aesthetic Extreme, just that they're not landing enough damage on these guys. Russian still trying to cook up a nade. We have a Kobe on these guys. No, we do not. But then Russian still feeling a little bit confident here. I might be trying to go for that push there. Yonko watching from afar. One of their teammates, that is Uris, unfortunately, is already in lobby. Also for Rexford, they have as well lost two players. It is just the beginning of the semi-finals. Like I said, the strategy for both teams are a little bit different. Everyone is trying to play it safe. Kuel is lucky because Venom would have gotten him if he threw that nade on the other window and would have had Kuel been taken back to lobby. But then this time round, he has some luck because he was not hard. I don't know what's happening there to Generation Z, but then one of their players there does get knocked. I don't know why, but I hope that for this second game, they have some strategy on how they can survive. Nades from every single team right now. Everyone seems to be looking towards getting that knock there. Venom trying to get the push happening. S12K in his hand. We have Invincibles waiting patiently. Zabra cooking up a nade. A lot is happening for these teams, to be honest. No one is ready to lose this fight. But then we are in the semi-finals. As many points as I can get, that is what I'm gonna do. We have an Aesthetic X team. I think that is their call because initially Invincibles were choosing to retreat, and if Aesthetic X team did not want to engage, they would have done the same thing and let Invincibles retreat. But as soon as they had Invincibles trying to retreat, Aesthetic X team basically went for that push. The zone is about to close in again. Teams need to start moving. They need to start going towards the safe zone. Finally, we have a push there. We can hear the shots. The nade there does connect. Russian is down. Venom does get knocked there by Kill. But then the teammate Federal does not give up. Does go for that push. Another knock in. We have a player Shaki that does get a knock. Of course, we get a knock. You're going to be taken back to lobby. Another knock in from Federal. They try to get the push happening there. Invincibles. No way. Aesthetic Extreme. One man, one gun. That is a DBS. And we have Federal feeling confident. He was basically reloading and firing, and does get that knock and thrust on the players from Invincibles. Nah, that's too good, man. Too good there, but GG's again to you, Federal, for that beautiful wipe happening there. We have now the teams are trying to rotate. Picado is no longer in the safe zone, so later esports need to start moving. Ocean Galaxy as well needs to start moving. Generation Z still outside the zone. They are doing a very weird rotation. Kevin is going back towards the blue zone. I don't know why that is happening again, but they are going back instead of going towards the safe zone. So I don't know what Generation Z plan is, to be honest, in these games. But probably they have something cooking, just that we cannot see the cooking happening, or rather we cannot smell any spices in the air. But it's fine. Probably they're going to figure something out there. They may be looking for, what's going to make our meal as tasty as possible. And we have teams there going towards Mina General. There's going to be some crowding as well there because you can see TDS, we can see Rage Esports, we can see Force Strength. Later Esports going towards the side. Impala Aesthetic Extremes living in Impala. We have Project X just on the southern side of the station. Then we can hear the sprays there. I was actually staring at the zone trying to see what was happening there. But we have Force Strength getting spotted. Rage Esports getting some damage. Jane Cookie, is it Cookie? Getting damaged there as he was trying to change his position. Rage Esports spotting them and so stopping them from making it to the safe zone. We have a Slazy does get some damage there and he's ready to go for that push towards the players from Force Strength, but then unfortunately that is not the case. They are now retreating. Force Strength is lucky because they are not getting pushed right now. It is just but the second phase of the zone. 15 teams remaining. Invincibles has been taken back to lobby. I hope the next games are going to be having some strategy to gather up their points, because unfortunately you need to get as many points as possible. This is the semi-finale. You're this close to the finale. You need to make as many, you need to, like, how do I put it, you need to make the best of everything. If it is the kill points, get them. If you're not confident with your kill points, then go away and get your placement points, you understand? But we have their Rage Esports going for that push. Later Esports, one of their teammates is down. They got their winner chicken dinner. Game one. We have here Melido does have a nade in his bag. That could have been an easily beautiful easy Kobe on Later Esports because they are knocked on the same rock together. One nade could finish this team, but we have a team, Nate, they're getting cooked up towards Melido. We have a Kobe on his side. Of course, there's going to be some damage there. We have Rage Esports player Apollo passing by with the vehicle. I'm not sure if he knows the later esports player, the Bombo Clutches there, does get to change his position far away from Rage Esports, trying to get closer to his teammates. But his teammates as well are retreating, and this is exactly what I was talking about. If there is no need to take on that fight, do not take it. If you can retreat, then retreat. No one is going to judge your call. At the end of the day, $2,000 is on the line. I need to get something for myself and my team. And if it means running away, I will be a Murife and go as far as I can from every single fight. ATLMAGICIANS are right outside the zone as well. Waiting on the players from Team SOLOMID that are right beneath them. We have Deku. They are trying to change his position. Looking at the safe zone right now. Just a quick peek of what is happening. Impala was Aesthetic Extreme was leaving Impala, and now they seem to be going back towards the side. They have final boss, who's final boss as well, might be going towards the side. MRU actually is going towards the side. Project X as well is going towards Impala. Ocean Galaxy and Generation Z are now coming into the safe zone. I don't know why Generation Z went all that way just to come back to the same route and go towards Los Leons. But it's fine. Like I said, everyone with their strategy, as long as it gives you a chicken dinner at the end of the day, that's what matters. Neon Force coming towards the southern side of Junkyard. They have Rex Squad, just at the same place we left them. They have been there, okay? They have been there for the longest time possible. So yeah, that's that. But then again, guys, if you're watching the live stream, I'll always keep on saying it. If you're yet to hit the sub button, please go ahead and subscribe. If you haven't shared the live stream link, share and tell your friends. The PUBG Mobile East Africa Clash games are back, and with a banger this time, because it is the semi-finale and we want to see which teams are going to make it into the finals. And if you haven't hit that like button, come on and hit that like button as you continue to enjoy the game. Neon Marcy does get a knockdown on the players from break, and of course that does initiate a fast push up in there. Zaxes has been taken back to lobby. That means only one person remains standing from Rex. That is Hemo trying to get a pre-nade here, but then doesn't feel confident that nade. Does go for that push, shotgun damage, fast damage there from actually Hemo does get a good amount of damage there on the player from Neon. Does get the fast knock in, but then unfortunately players from a Neon Force are close to each other, and Lambron is able to get cover on his teammate Class before Hemo was able to take him all the way back to lobby. This is exactly what we're talking about. We need the violence. We need to see who is who in these games, man. We need to see who can silence a whole team by himself. We had the player there that is Federal using just one gun at DBS, takes out a trio from Invincibles by himself. Federal does take that, and he is confident enough with the DBS and does that. Honestly, you can listen to me, but when I'm playing the competitive scene, I don't have composure like Federal, and yeah, haven't been in that field for a while. But you saw the composure there. That is what I'm talking about. Be composed. I am by myself. I am surrounded. So what should be my next move? Is it me panicking and going far away from this fight and exposing actually my back to the enemy team? Or I can just relax and believe that I got this. I'm already in the semifinals. We deserve to be here. Then why not just go with it? Never Die Esports have a team passing by. Later Esports are just passing by near them. They have another team as well. At least two teams are passing by where we have Never Die Esports. Stella and his teammates are accompanied out here. They don't want to move a muscle. But then as long as you have moved and they have good earphones, they are quite aware that you are here. You are in the same place as him. And we have their Generation Z are going towards the Project X. We have a pre-nade, they're getting cooked up. We're going to be seeing a Kobe and the players from Generation Z, Zaki, and his teammates finally closing in. Finally, Generation Z does try to give us something happening there. Kazuz is down. We have the player there, Kevin, coming from the back. Does get a damage. Does get the fast knock on the Project X player, but then unfortunately he's down. Luckily, Zaki comes in with the cover, gets a second knock on the player from Project X. Zaki now needs to do his thing because only two players remain. That is Kurt and another Kurt. Zaki has to go against the two players. That is Kurt and Mamba, I believe so. Zaki having now to go for that push. Last player remaining from Project X isn't aware where this guy is. He's getting time to heal up, and once he heals up, things might be a little bit twisted right now because he had the upper hand. And Nate is getting kicked up. Kart is feeling ready to go for that push. Trying to see what he can happen here. Does get the knock there. Does get a beautiful spray with the UMP ready to go for that second push. Last player from Generation Z does get that knock on Kart. Not really a knock, but an elimination on Kart. The DBS does make sense. It's actually Thomas. I thought ZEUS was still down, but then it seems like ZEUS is the one who went for that push and was able to get the last player there from Project X all the way back to lobby. It is quite interesting to see what can happen as soon as you hear a team being questioned on why they chose to be eliminated by the zone. You have MRUHYPERZ, a team right next to them there. They're getting the revive. Iconic is getting revived. We have the Magicians right in front of him. One player remains standing. From the Magician, tries to cook up a nade there. Doesn't really know if it's going to get a Kobe, but lands right next to Iconic. That's actually a very beautiful spray. Nade, but the spray they're trying to get some damage on Pixel doesn't really connect there. The nades from Pixel don't really make it to where we have the last player there from the Magicians. And now it's going to be up to him just to be able to gather more points for his team. Right now, he's the only one remaining, and he chose the best thing to do, and that is go as far away from this fight as possible. We have Neon Force taking on as well the ZEUS final boss. And you can see now the players here from MRU are ready to go for that push on the last player, Duke. That is a Duke from Magicians. He is the only one remaining. Pixel does go in. The damage, of course, from Duke is actually seen. Let's try to get some sprays happening here, but then unfortunately, being just a one-man standing, it's not that easy to go against a team that has gone towards you from every single angle and getting the damage on you. We have now just 11 teams remaining. Hades and his teammates from MRU were able to take on the players from Magicians, and now they need to start moving as well because the zone is about to close in. Rage eSports having a team right next to them as well. Let's just have a quick peek at what is happening to the zone right now. It is going towards Impala. Teams like Ocean Galaxy, Rage eSports, they need to go towards the zone. We have the players from Team SOLOMID as well need to make it to the zone. Generation Z needs to start moving. MRU needs to start moving. Neon Force as well. They are not in the zone, and they need to start moving. Never Die eSports are trying to get some damage on the team that is passing by, but they have less than a minute to make it to the safe zone, and they should start moving as early as now because the violence might just find them outside the zone. And if it finds you outside the zone, I think you'll be the only one to blame. And it's going to be all because of how you've handled your rotations. Rage eSports, they have later eSports next to them as well as the 4th strength team. Tacos might not be able to leave this garage, seeing that Bomboclat and his teammates are watching them from afar, waiting for them to make a mistake, and then they'll probably go for that push. But for now, there is nothing happening. Their Rage eSports are just watching everything happen from afar. They don't want to expose themselves at all. TDS getting all the players from Ocean Galaxy. I mean, Ocean Galaxy, they need to live up to their name. They have fans in the comment section saying that they are here because of Ocean Galaxy, and we love to see it. Where's Kina Panther? Mike Owen, this is of the KOL games. These are the PUBG Mobile East Africa semi-finale games. Beautiful spray there from Tacos. That should be a go-ahead to go for that spray again. Does get a lot of sprays happening here towards the players from Rage eSports, Never Die eSports watching from afar as well. That means at least 5 teams are in the same place. Later eSports getting surrounded right now. We have the players from Team SOLOMID losing players to Never Die eSports as well. Rage eSports being in the middle of all this, are taking they're basically taking their time not to engage in this fight. They have everyone watching from afar. TDS watching as well, getting damage on their end. Team Solomid are trying to keep it as safe as possible. They don't want to expose their location, but that will not be enough because, as you can see, Rage eSports player Slazy is ready to take on the fights. Their Team Solomid player is still down. Trix is knocked, leaving 1 player remaining. Ticks are watching just from the compound, doesn't want to move at all because once you move, you expose and you are nothing but a crate in the game. Nothing else for your team now. Never Die. Been taken back slowly. 10 teams remaining. Later eSports losing players 1 by 1. Finally, we have Generation Z getting closer to later eSports. Finally, Generation Z living up to their name. Let's see how this goes out. Bomboclat does get a knock there on Thomas, and of course that is the faster move to go for that push there. We have Bomboclat trying to get closer, but then he has to be careful. Generation Z are ready to prove their worth. They are the master elites They went to Generation Z, and that means they have rebranded and they're ready to prove that they are actually good at this game. You have Bombo Cloud going for that push, does get knocked. Kazu's getting another knock on Teaks. I mean, later eSports had the upper hand, but then looking at what is happening right now, they have been surrounded. The chicken dinner is no longer theirs, and they have given it to another team right now. We have MRU spotting the players there from Generation Z. Probably might be trying to third party team SOLOMID players, losing players one by one. Okay, I'm back. So, yeah, seeing what is happening right now, teams are getting exposed. You can see MRUHYPERZ just trying to make it to the safe zone right now. We have 4 strength. Again, second time in a row, holding the safest place in the game. 4 strength player, Jin Kulki. Might be getting closer to everyone right now, but Ocean Galaxy has been taken back. Lobby Aesthetic Extreme as well. Losing players. Seems like this time round, Federal was not able to take out a whole team by himself, but then these things happen. Team SOLOMID as well being taken back to lobby 4 strength and join the third party fight. Generation Z passing by, 7 teams remaining. We're going to the 6th phase of the zone, and you can see the damage from the zone. Kazuza is down. Rage eSports watching from afar. They have Thomas down. Zaki does get that knock, immediately taking the player back to lobby. 4 strength is no longer safe. They had the best place in the game, but then tables have turned. Generation Z have gone for that push, and you can see exactly what is happening. Rage eSports third part in this fight. Nade's getting cooked up. Tacos and his teammates are finally here, and they're ready to take on the players from Generation Z, as well as the players that are here from 4 strength. Nade's getting cooked up. Slazy are getting damaged by the pre-nades. Zaki still cooking up nades. Third part in this fight. Rage eSports 4 strength. Everyone is surrounded right now. There is a lot of confusion. You can see what is happening. Nades are flying in. Zaki is low. The nade does connect, but then unfortunately for that team, they were not able to get the knock on Zaki. Attackers are still trying to cook up more nades on that side. Every single person right now is a grenadier. You can see how many nades are flying in this game. We have nades there again. Rage eSports picking up another nade. We can see what is happening. Zaki getting pushed up there, and Rage eSports does take Generations Z all the way back to lobby 4 strength, getting the revives there on their knocked teammate MRU. Watching and joining this party now. Rage eSports cooking up nades. MRU might be third party right now, but you can see what has happened there. They have been taken back to lobby. Neon Rising getting closer as well. We have, is it Meliod? The nade here does try to connect, does get some damage on Jin Kulki, but then no knock has happened there on the 4 strength. The team Julio has now to do something because they're just but a duo. Rage eSports is a full team, even though there was at least 3 teams on the same place. They still are a full team. 4 strength losing players. They're the only 2 players remaining. Kulki getting pushed here. Julio with the damage does get the knocks there. Does get to get a lot of damage on these players. His teammate Kulki does join the party, but then unfortunately Rage eSports has players every single corner. They do get the knocks there. 2 players down from Rage eSports. 4 strength almost had it. Julio did get the damage. Kulki trying to get the cover, but then unfortunately that did not work out because one of the players from the players there, that is Meliod, was watching from afar and was able to help their team there before they were taken back to lobby by the 4 strength. We have 4 teams remaining, and we are yet to see which team is going to get the winner. A winner, Chicken, Dina, TDS, Power, Vlad are getting closer to Neon Rising. He's just but one of the trios from his team there. One of the players from Neon Rising is down. Vlad is getting closer. He needs to start moving, needs to start taking some action because once the revive happens and there's nothing that can be done, Vlad are getting nades are thrown towards them. Neon Rising players are having nades as well cooked up towards the players from TDS as TDS cooks up nades towards them. No Kobe's yet, but the nades are definitely getting closer to these players. A little bit more patience, and you'll be seeing more Kobe's towards that side. Klaus is down. Excuse me, that means they are getting third partied. Beautiful fight there. We have the Aesthetic Extreme been taken back to lobby. Neon Rising, Neon Force, sorry. Why is it saying Neon Rising in my head? Neon Force getting closer to TDS right now. 3 teams remaining. I don't know what they're going to be doing right now, but then TDS Lemon is down. Rage eSports is now third part in this fight. They were patient. They took on Force Strength, they took on Generation Z, and now they're ready to take on another fight. And they the third party this fight, and I mean the players there from TDS were disadvantaged. They were surrounded, and you can see why that is the worst thing to happen to you, because they have basically lost the fight because they had nowhere else to go. Nade's flying in there. We have Neon Klaus gets a knock on Slazy. Polo cooking up a nade as well. We have a Kobe on the players from Neon. Klaus needs to change his position because nades are now flying in. We have their Slazy being confirmed. They're being taken back slowly. Nades coming in from Rage Esports. Klaus scouted out the baggy, beautiful Kobe. Does get him off that baggy while he was passing by. Beautiful nade there by Polo. We have Melio going for that push. Polo does get it. That's there on Klaus. I mean, Rage Esports taking on players one by one. 2 players remaining from Neon Force. And now it's going to be up to them to take on the players from Rage Esports. Otherwise, this might just be GG's to Neon Force and GG's to Rage Esports. We have nades again getting cooked up by Lambron. Now they're out of nades. Every single team right now has to figure out how they're going to be playing about it. But then the nade there does get to connect, does get some damage on Marcy. But do we have anything happening yet? There's nothing changing. Rage Esports player Meliod and his teammates Tacos together with Polo are now thinking of the best strategy. They're looting up the crates, looking for throwables. And we have Neon player Marcy going for that push on Rage player. Does get some damage, but then unfortunately he misses every single shot. Does get at least a few damage on this guy, but then it doesn't really work. One person remaining. That is Lambron, and you can see what is happening there. Rage Esports going all in on this guy. They're ready to take him out. He gets the damage in, but then unfortunately, man is surrounded. And that is GG's to Rage Esports. GG's to you guys, unfortunately. For the players from Neon Force, it is not your day. And the chicken dinner was just not yours. It was made for the players from Rage Esports. They basically engaged in each and every fight that came their way. And you can see what that made them have now. It's a chicken dinner. I mean, that last fight, perfect. That last fight was just amazing. Rage Esports came from the blue zone, came in slowly, watched teams as they were fighting against each other. They did not engage. They waited for people to make mistakes. And when they realized they knocked that one person from Neon Force, they knew if no mercy is down, that means one person is remaining. And why not go for that push? And that's exactly what happened. Lambron was a disadvantage. You saw how they went for that push. They were back to back. I mean, they were this close. There's no way they were going to push one person with each other, split up to the game. And that has finally given them a chicken dinner. So GG's again to you guys. You all deserved it. Beautiful, beautiful game from Rage Esports. We have Slazy getting 0 eliminations, dealing a damage of 236. Tacos getting 5 eliminations, 867 damage. It's Melio. Okay. 3 eliminations with a damage of 370. And we have Polo getting 4 eliminations and a damage of 517. GG's again to you, Rage Esports. Just to have a quick look at how many points they got in and where they are right now in this game. They got 22 total points from this game, but then Neon Force is not that far. They get 20, TDS with 10, Aesthetic Extreme and Force Strength together Generation Z tying at 8, MRUHYPERZ with 7, Team SOLOMID with 4, Invincibles at 2, Project X, later Esports, Never Die Esports at 1. But then Ocean Galaxy, ZEUS Final Boss, ATLMAGICIANS, and Rex Squad, quite unfortunate for them. They were not able to get any points from that game. And we have man of the match there. Of course, it is a Neon Force, No Mercy. 6 eliminations, a damage of 789, 2 assists, survival time of 24 minutes and 47 seconds. And getting a total of 4 knockouts there. GG's again to you. Beautiful play from Neon Force, No Mercy. Unfortunately for him, that was just not the day for their team. They were not taken. They were not able to get the winner chicken dinner. But then there is a next time. Looking at the head-to-head, Rage Esports getting 12 eliminations. Neon Force getting 14. Damage dealt by Rage Esports, 1,990. And Neon Force getting 2,670. Rage Esports getting 9 knockouts and Neon Force getting 11 knockouts. Rage Esports spending 0 seconds in the blue, and we have Neon Force spending 2 minutes and 51 seconds in the game. That is actually true. Rage Esports made their rotations there. We saw them coming in the game. I mean, Neon Force and Rage, they're basically at the same level when it comes to skill-wise, because you can see how the eliminations they have, the damage they have dealt throughout the game. You can see they're almost at the exact same level. So GG's again to you, Reggie Sports, for the winner chicken dinner. Y'all deserved it. GG's to you guys. Quick look at the rotations and let's see what happened. What really changed there? What really transpired in this game? A lot did take place. We had players, teams like Project X, they took their time, made the rotations a little bit late, but it's fine. We saw how much they survived throughout the game. Impala was a little bit occupied. That is where we lost the Invincibles from Kenya. Unfortunately, they were taken out by just one player when they were in Impala. So GG's on that aesthetic extreme player. He was very confident, the DBS. We have to talk about that, but we're just getting started. This is the second day of the semi-final, first day sort of the semi-finale. We're yet to see the second day to see if that's going to be the same case. Are we going to be having the same people doing the same thing they have done the first day? So, I mean, 50-50 situation, totally allowed. It does happen in a competitive scene. Teams get to lose fight and during unexpected moments. Sometimes it's just not your day in the game. And if it's not your day, totally accepted. There's always a next time. We can see what happened there. Especially the teams like Neon Force, they came so far from the north side of Miramar and they came in a little bit late, but they survived after engaging in a fight against Rex Squad. They third partied the fights, their rotations there did make sense. A lot of things were happening. The rotations actually from these teams are really good. Ocean Galaxy, same as Generation Z last game, might have had a hard time with their rotation. Generation Z for this game, they actually lived up to their name with their rotation and they were not taken back to lobby too early in the game just because of the zone. They actually made it to, I think, almost the second last zone, and that is actually good. They have improved. They have not lost to the zone, and that's when we saw them being taken back to lobby. And the last zone fight been a very interesting game. We saw the rotation, Rage Esports losing players, and they got the winner chicken dinner. So GG's again to you, Rage Esports. We have enjoyed the game, watching you guys. We have 2 more games to go tonight, but before then we'll be taking a short break. Like, share and sub, and we'll be right back. Alrighty, welcome back, guys. Third game of the night in the semi-finale. We are just in the day one. We have watched game one where we had a very interesting last zone fight, and we had later esports getting the winner chicken dinner. Game two came in, and then Rage esports came back with a lot of rage and ready to show us that their name is not just by the name; it is part of our skills as well. And they got their chicken dinner, and now that we are in the third game of the night, that is Sunhawk. We have the flight path coming from docks all the way to the western side of Sunhawk. And because Sunhawk is a small map, having 16 teams, the game is going to be a little bit tight. A lot of teams are going to be landing together. We're going to be having a lot of third-party fights as well. But then one thing we have to remember is that when you're playing in Sunhawk, there is a king of the jungle, and that's basically the best snake in the game. That's the person who's going to be giving us a winner chicken dinner. But for now, guys, I hope you guys are enjoying the live. I hope you guys are hitting that like button. I hope you are subscribing to the channel, and I hope as well you're also sharing the live stream link, because these are the PUBG Mobile East Africa Clash games. We are in the semi-finale. A lot is definitely happening. They're beautiful knock there. Neon Tony almost had that knock there on Dybala, but then Ocean Galaxy players are ready to show that they have been not really performing that much, and it's time for us to shine. In these games, no face is quite low, and they have just wiped out a Neon Force all the way back to lobby. Yo, the game has just begun, alright? Neon Force last game had a chance of getting the chicken dinner, right? But then, unfortunately, as a lot happened, they were just for a duo. When one of them was down, no mercy, Lamron was pushed. So it's quite unfortunate to see that they have been taken as well back to lobby too early in this game. But they have one more game tonight just to prove that what we have their alt magicians. In Camp Bravo, they have a team right next to them, and that is Generation Z. But before they go for that push, I'm going to take a quick peek at the safe zone to see what is happening, which teams made it to the safe zones. Luckily, or surprisingly, not even luckily, surprisingly, as a place like Sami is empty. Sami is the safest place you can be right now. The zone is leaning towards the side. No one is in Camp as well. No one is there. But we have teams in Camp Charlie, the cave, Painana, of course, is always surrounded, ruins as well. Paradise Resort just has one team there. So it is Sunhawk. We expect these things to happen, and it's totally allowed. But let's just get into the violence. Let's keep on liking the live. When you get to a point where there's no action, hit that like button before you miss the action, you understand? But Never Die Esports are losing players, and they seem to have been taken back to lobby too early in the game by Rage Esports. Aesthetic Extreme here. They're waiting in these compounds, are waiting for the players from Rex Goda to go towards them. They're probably waiting for a chance. Once they get that knock, then of course they're going to go immediately for that push. So yeah, we're going to be waiting to see what happens there as we continue. And if you can see your country when you get here, and I'm watching your country, drop your country's flag in the comment section. Support them. It is the East Africa Clash games. When these games end, you're going to be seeing which country, or rather which region, is the best when it comes to PUBG Mobile in East Africa. But that doesn't mean it's the end. Inshallah, God willing, we're going to be having more East Africa games probably. But for now, this being the first one, this is where we're going to make our first call and say, well, when it comes to the first phase, or rather the first season for the PUBG Mobile East Africa Clash, the team, that the country that is the best when it comes to PUBG is Madagascar, Djibouti, Somalia, Kenya, Mauritius, Ethiopia. Could be anyone at this point. I just don't want to say it's going to be a specific country. But if you already get here, make sure you're dropping your country's flag in the comment section and show them you are watching and you are here to support them. We have Aesthetic Extreme trying to get the chance on the players from Rec. Already one player is down. That means Federal and his teammate might be able to go for that push there. Zaxes is down. Federal initially was able to get that knock there with a shotgun, did get at least, not really knocks, but a wipe on the Invincible team. I don't know if they're going to be seeing the same thing right now. We have Rec everyone there with a shotgun as well, waiting for the players from Aesthetic Extreme to go for that push. Federal leading that push, going towards Rexford. We have a nade getting hooked up there. We might be seeing a beautiful pre-raid there. Kobe on Federal's head. Then that's not the case. The damage there from him is actually high. Federal is low, and Rexford should see this chance as a way of going for that push. But it is not yet the time to do so, because no player is down for my Aesthetic Extreme players. We have the Generation Z as well, taking on the ATLMAGICIANS teams. They're taking them all the way back to lobby. They are in Camp Bravo, and you can see what is happening there. Generation Z have been able to take on players from ATLMAGICIANS all the way back to lobby, surviving. This time around, they have not been taken back to lobby. Aesthetic Extreme are still waiting on the players here from Rex Squad, and nothing has changed. We're going to be waiting on to see what is going to be happening here. Rick Hemo waiting patiently with the S12K Federal, and his teammate are looking to go for that push, but they're not as confident yet. They're waiting for just one more chance to go for that push. Initially, they had a chance when Zaxxas was down, but then they were unable to go for that push because Rex Squad did put in that pressure, made it quite hard for them to move towards them while they got their first knock in. Rex Squad are changing their position, waiting on them from the other side of the road. And you have the players from Aesthetic Extreme getting closer. Arnie trying to cook up a nade here. Are we going to be seeing a Kobe or not? MRU, taking on a fight as well. And Ned getting hooked up on this side. Aesthetic Extreme there. Yonko and his teammates are getting a little bit closer. Arnie with the nade. Is he going to be a Kobe? Does get some damage there on the players from Aesthetic Extreme. Doesn't really get a knock yet, but the damage is actually there. Rex Squad watching from afar. They need to start moving as well, because once this zone closes in, it is Sunhawk. The damage might also start to increase a little bit early in the game. But that doesn't really seem to be the case. Arnie is down, Mollied down. That means Aesthetic Extreme now can't go for that push. The zone is about to close in. Our teams are now going towards the Sami, but we have a push there. Aesthetic Extreme player does go for that push. Doesn't see the player there from Rek, but then the reflex, and he does get the knock there on the Rex Squad player. Yonko is able to do a beautiful reflex. They're going in for that push. One player remains standing, and that is Hemo, quite far from his teammates. They're all getting knocked and tasted. Arnie as well has been taken back to lobby, and now Hemo watching from afar, waiting for the players of Aesthetic Extreme to make a mistake. But then is there going to be any mistake happening there? He finally exposes his location. That might be the wrong move to do right now. Aesthetic Extreme players know that Rekemo is the only person remaining from their team. We have MRUHYPERZ have been taken back to lobby as well. Later, eSports are engaging against Invincibles. We're going to be seeing that sooner or later. But then we have Venom going for that push. DBS in the hand there. That's trying to get us some pre-fires in from Hemo. But then Venom's DBS right to the forehead does take on the last player from Rex Squad all the way back to lobby. GG's to you, Rex Squad, and better luck next time. One more game to go, and I'm hoping to see a better gameplay from you guys. Invincibles here are taking on the players from Later eSports, winners of the first game of the night. Not really, first game of the night. And now Invincibles, Shakid and his teammates are trying to get closer. Beautiful damage there on the player from Later eSports, Tix. That might be their chance to go for that push. Tix having only one player down, that is Bomboclat. Now they need to recover because Invincibles are closing in. Their first knock in, a beautiful DPS knock. Second knock in, Tix is down. Danger trying to cook up a nade there, but doesn't really work because the players are from Invincibles are putting in the pressure. They're going for that push, and Shakid does get the last player from Later eSports, Danger, all the way back to lobby. I mean, yeah. Invincibles was almost losing that fight against players from Later eSports. The DBSs were working at the fast knocks, but then unfortunately the players from Later eSports were able to fight back. But then since only one person had remained from their team, that is Danger, trying to reload, trying to come back there with the knocks on the players from Invincibles, wasn't able to do anything because he was just but a solo project. XCR spotting a team right above them. The zone is about to close in again. Teams are going to be engaging in fight. You can see teams are going closer towards Bainan. Ocean Galaxy Living Bootcamp, TDS as well, are going towards Ruins. So we have a team in Ruins as well. Tampang has a team that is Rage Esports. Cam has people as well. That is the players. I'm not sure that the team that is there, but there's a team that is there. I cannot remember the color, which team that is. Or you have Team SOLOMID going towards Sami as well. 4 strength. Generation Z still doing the rotations quite late. They're coming from Ban, are going towards Quarian Cave, quite far, to be honest, from the zone. But that's actually okay. It does happen, but they need to start rethinking their strategy. Why are they going for the late rotations? Why are they exposing themselves? To lose into the zone. We have TDS Power, they're passing by. We might be seeing a fight there, but they do not stop at all. They decide to go on moving. Invincibles as well, closing in on them. So they need to be a little bit careful on that side because Invincibles have a really good spray. That's something we have to give them. They have a really good stable spray. So passing by with a vehicle might not be the best strategy to go against them if you're passing or rather going for that push and they are not knocked. You might be cooking your own team. looking at TDS, they get to set camp here. They're waiting for teams now to get towards them, but they need to be careful as well. There's a team on their left side. Might be coming from their back. If they're careful, they might be taken back slowly by the element of surprise or strength. Aesthetic Extreme and Generation Z as well, closing in on each other. Project X still a little bit safe, but then TDS is a little bit close to them as well. The zone does close in. Sami, I said about Sami, might just be the best place to land when the game was beginning. That would have been the best place to be, because not a lot of fights have transpired there, and not everyone went to that side. Not even a single team has gone there yet. Team SOLOMID was moving towards that side. I don't know if they're going to be going towards that side or they're going to be holding a little bit out, so far away from Sami, but we're going to be waiting to see what happens there. 10 teams remaining. Third phase of the zone, less than 50 seconds are going to the next phase. That is the fourth phase of the zone. Teams will start engaging in fights, unnecessary fights sometimes, because I did a late rotation. There's a team that already made it to the compound. I need to start making them move. I try to make them move. A third party team comes from the back and they take you back to lobby. So that's also something that, let's say, will happen when it comes to these games. We have Team SOLOMID finally engaging in a fight against the TDS. Team Hulk trying to cook up a nade there, but already one of their teammates, Lemon, is down. You can see the players are getting close to the from SOLOMID. The nade does get some damage to him, doesn't really get him knocked, but then we have him trying to heal up now, but then another nade is getting cooked up. A beautiful Kobe there from Vlad. That does give them a chance to go for that push. Another player is down. That means that TDS might be having an upper hand when it comes to this fight, and they go for that push, confirming their knocks there, and they're ready to go for the rest of the players. Beautiful knock there from Team SOLOMID player with the DBS. Tries to get under that thrust, and he actually does it. But then Vlad does come in and he's able to get a knock and a thrust on him as well. One player remaining from Team SOLOMID trying to cook up more nades towards them. Slime last time was the man of the match when he came to game 2. Still surviving this far from his team. Does get some damage there, but then look at what has happened on his end. Slime is low. He's trying to heal up in the smoke here, but then he has to be careful, because once this smoke fades out, he's going to be exposed. The players from TDS has not yet been revived. Does get damage again. Slime does get the damage on his end there from Blood. He's getting pushed there. Slime is low, and luckily for Slime, a third party fight does happen, and Blood is taken back to lobby. I don't know about Slime, but then I believe he's the luckiest player when it comes to this game, and that is game 3. Blood was trying to get that push on him, but then unfortunately for reinforced and position from afar, they were able to get that knock there. Project X goes for that push on the players from Invincible. Shakir is down. There is some spray there from Arya, getting some damage and cover from his teammate, but then we have Fuel here with the flank. Does get to get the last player from the players from Project X, and that is Arya, taking her out him all the way back to lobby. Invincibles almost lost that fight, to be honest. Shakid was down, almost taken back to lobby. Kill with the flank there. Did manage to get the last player. So that was actually quite lucky for them. The same thing has happened to Slime. I don't know what is happening. I don't know which side you guys are facing or praying, but it is actually working for some of you, because Slime had lost this fight, to be honest. Vlad had got him with a lot of pre-fire damages with the DBS. So yes, he is lucky, but will that luck last till the end of the game? We have Ocean Galaxy engaging in a fight against the players from Invincibles. Ocean Galaxy being able to test one of the players, that is Russian, has been taken back to lobby. Now Invincibles is disoriented. They need to start rethinking their strategy right now. One player is already down. Ocean Galaxy player No Face going in for that push. Invincibles are waiting for him patiently. Zaber, far away from everyone else, will wait for a chance to get maybe some cover fire on their teammate as they get pushed, just to make sure the individual trying to go for that push is low. But then look at Shakid's Kobe. Does get a Kobe, cooks up another nade there on the player from Ocean Galaxy. Doesn't really get a Kobe because the guy did exit the vehicle and go towards the safe side. But we have Zaber again with a beautiful location where he was. He's able to get the third party sprays for his teammate just to make sure they are safe. Ocean Galaxy player Dybala does get the damage on Zaber, but he needs to be careful. He's only one person remaining. Shakid are waiting for that chance to get a beautiful spray on this guy. So a lot is going to be happening here. Either Invincibles is going to be taken out by one player, or Ocean Galaxy will be taken down by the Invincibles. You have Dybala there getting pushed in. Invincibles player Kyul getting closer to the DBS, and Dybala needs to start rethinking his strategy. Shakid with the damage. Kyul does come in with the push there. He's getting fire from his teammate Shakid. He does get the cover, and Dybala is down. Kyul now will need to be confident. Of course, you have to confirm that task, taking him all the way back to lobby. Ocean Galaxy losing that fight on the Invincibles. One player remains, and he needs to re-strategize because you can see what is happening. The Invincibles are now aware that we have knocked at least 3 players. One of them is still down, one of them is still surviving. That means we have a chance of getting a chicken, or not really a chicken dinner, but a win when it comes to this fight. 7 teams remaining. Invincibles, the players trying to get the last player from Ocean Galaxy. A pre-nade is getting cooked up. Armand, they're waiting for the players from Invincible. Does get the damage, but then will that be enough? Invincibles player finally here. Zaba and his team is getting closer. Shakid going for that push. Armand with the assault K. Both players have the shotguns, but then Shakid does spray on that door, and immediately that door goes down. So that's the last player from Ocean Galaxy. 6 teams remaining right now. Invincibles still trying to live up to their name, still trying to get the winner chicken dinner for their team. But will it be possible? Will they be able to get their chicken dinners happening when it comes to the third game of the night? Zone is about to close in again. Teams are now getting closer to each other. So me is no longer in the safe zone. Aesthetic Extreme a little bit safe right now, as this final boss played it safe as well. Generation Z, unfortunately, have been eliminated. 5 teams remaining. Aesthetic Extreme player viewer is watching from afar. Kairos is down. That means they finally have gone closer to teams that are right next to them. We have Red eSports getting those knocks. They were able to get the winner chicken in the second game of the night. But then is it going to be enough? Are they going to be able to get another winner chicken dinner? Is this final boss player Panda? They're getting pushed by the players from Rage. He's waiting for a chance to cook up a nade and maybe get something happening there. Actually, it is a molly because he has no grenade in his bag. Only Godly has a nade there. Rage is supposed to go for that push on a Panda. They need to be careful. Let's get the DBS out. But then unfortunately, that is not the case because the Polo is the man with the DBS. Does immediately reflex there, spotting Furis, trying to get some damage on his side as well, but then doesn't really happen. And the Panda is as well taken back to lobby. Now Godly trying to get some damage on the players. They have a third party in for strength coming in from the back. Look at the last player from ZEUS final boss, Godly, all the way back to lobby. And now for strength going closer to the players from Rage eSports, cooking up nades. They lost their first chicken dinner in the first game of the night at Rangel. They might be seeking to get the chicken dinner in this third game of the night. Jane and his teammate getting closer, closing in on the players from Rage eSports. Polo immediately taking his vehicle, changing his position because we also need the chicken dinner, but then he has to be careful because Invincibles are right behind him. They might spot him, taking all the way back to lobby. Tacos does get knocked by Shakid. I called it. He was right in front of them, and Invincibles, once they get a chance, Shakid is a very, very sneaky player. And to be honest, if he gets a chance to take you back to lobby, he will take it. No matter the situation, he will take you down if that's the case, and he will never let you go. For strength, are going closer to the players from Rage. You're supposed to need to be careful as well because Invincibles is right next to them there, and they might be third party in this fight as well. As Jane Kulki getting closer to his teammates just to make sure they keep their numbers up. And for the players from Rage eSports have Invincibles, making it hard for them to go for that flank and rotations just to be on the safe side of this fight. But will it be enough? They have the players from Invincibles watching all this from afar. Aesthetic Extremes are only one player remaining from their side. Hasn't moved the muscle, holding the same compound. Shakir, they're getting the damage on Polo, and he is down. I told you, once he sees a chance, he takes it till the end of the game. Melio and his teammate now remaining. They need to maybe live up to their name because they got a chicken dinner in the second game of the night. Is it going to be possible for them to get a chicken dinner in the third game of the night? Well, let's see if that's going to be the case. Shakid now are changing their position. The zone is about to close in, going towards the players from 4 strength and Rage eSports. They need to be careful as well. Don't be too confident because you might be third party. You might be sandwiched depending on where you stand in this game. Klaus is down. Aesthetic Extreme last player has been taken back to lobby. Rage eSports players Lazy as well has been eliminated. Melio with the zone disadvantage him right now. I don't think he'll be able to make it to the zone there. We have Shakir cooking up nades. You have Kobe on the 4 strength. I think the damage is there. He needs to cook up another nade and probably will be seeing a Kobe on these guys. The nade does come in and we have a knock there. Julio is down now. Jin Kulki and his teammate need to now catch up because Invincibles are now having the upper hand. Yeah, the knocks, the nades are connecting. Shakir still cooking up nades there. Susa does get the revive on his teammate, but then is it gonna be enough? Susa does get damage again. Another nade getting hooked up on Susa's side. Will be another knock there. GG's, and one player remains. Jane Kuki needs to find a way of surviving this. Shakir there does go for the push and cues, and immediately once he gets that knock, you know what follows after that? It is a task because we need to have your numbers decreasing as we go in for that push. Shakid might just be the man of the match for this game. Does get the mollies in, does get the damage there, and does take out the last players from that is 4 strength invincibles. Wagwan. Finally, we have a winner chicken dinner on the players from Invincibles. They have gotten, I mean, it was a long time coming because, well, these things happen, okay? Invincibles. I was talking about sneaky Shakid. Shakid will take every chance he gets to go for that push. Shakid saw that, okay, for strength, are not having a good time. They have a lot of knocks coming their side. They saw Reggie Sports, they're outside the zone. They're trying to make it to the safe zone. Shakid was still spraying. I told you there's something about Shakid. He's very sneaky, he's very confident as well. Once he feels that there's a need to go for that push, he will go for that push. And we finally have a winner chicken dinner for the Invincibles. For strength, again, have lost the chicken dinner by a mile because they were this close to getting the chicken dinner, but then, the second time, first game there, later eSports made it hard for them. And then now for this third game there, we can see Invincibles have made it hard for them. I'm hoping they look for it in the last game. We have Shakid, 11 eliminations, a damage of 1,363. Zaber, 4 eliminations, a damage of 395. Kuel, 5 eliminations, a damage of 773. And we have Russian, there are 0 eliminations, but a damage of 260. Judges to you, players from Invincibles, a beautiful winner chicken dinner from you guys. And from that game alone, Invincibles has bagged 30 total points. 30. That's too high, man. Regis was there with 13. For strength, they're in 11. Aesthetic Extreme 9. Gen Z 6. Ocean Galaxy 5. Later eSports and ZEUS Final Boss 4. TDS Power 3. Project X, Team SOLOMID, and ATLMAGICIANS stand at 2 points each. Never Die eSports, MRUHYPERZ, Rex Code, and Neon Force. Unfortunately for them, they were not able to get any points in the bag when it comes to that game. But I hope they need to have something else happening there. But we have man of the match. I called it. Shakid there, getting 11 eliminations, a damage of 1,363, 4 assists, 11 knockouts combined with kills equally, and survives a total of 18 minutes and 57 seconds. GG's to you, Shakid, there, for getting man of the match. We love to see it. We love to see exactly that. Let's have a quick look at the head-to-head there. We have Invincibles getting 20 eliminations, and we have Reggie Sports getting 8 eliminations. Invincibles are dealing a damage of 2,791, with Reggie Sports dealing a damage of 1,439. 18 knockouts on Invincible side, with Reggie Sports having 7 knockouts. Total time in the blue, 0 seconds for both teams. That means they made the right rotations. They made the right calls. The IGLs were doing that thing, making it to where they need to make it, and we have them getting a beautiful chicken dinner with a total of 20 eliminations on the Invincibles side. Reggie Sports unfortunately did not survive that long because they had to be taken out because of the zone advantage that Invincibles had. So yeah, that totally happens. And let's have a quick look at the rotations and see how the teams decided to take on the rotation there. We actually have to commend Generation Z this time round, even though they were not able to, get the chicken dinner. They at least managed not to be the last, the first team to be taken by the zone. They actually took their time. They did the rotations. They made the right calls, but then unfortunately, they were surrounded as well, and all that made them being taken back to lobby. Seeing everything else there, we can see how the teams came into the zone. Generation Z came quite late. Again, you can see how white they took their blue zone of flanking happening there, and Cam was still occupied. The team there didn't even move a muscle. Reggie Sports now started moving around. Tampang, trying to find the safest place to be in. The zone was still on their side, and well, unfortunately, that did not really pay out. On the game was ending. They were exposed to unnecessary fights. Invincibles, winners of this third game of the night. You can see their rotations as well. They were lucky because once the zone left Tampang, it went directly to where Invincibles were. So that did advantage them there, and they were able to keep their points up. So again, GG's to you, Invincibles, or taking your time and trying to get your win. Force strength as well came in a little bit late in the game. Third party, the fights a little bit late as well, and it actually paid out, just that they were not able to get the winner chicken dinner when it came to that game. But it is what it is. These things happen. It is just but the third game of the night. We have one more game to go. We know what that map is, Arangel, and I'll be seeing you guys in a few. We'll be right back. Okay, we are officially back and we are in the last game for the semi-finale day one, and that is going to be a Rangel. Look at the flight path coming all the way from shooting range to Primorsk. We're going to be seeing what's going to be happening there, but then we have to say a big congratulations to the three teams that have won the games tonight so far. That is Later Esports, Rage Esports, and Invincibles Esports. These three teams have outdone themselves. They have gotten their chicken dinners. We have seen very interesting players in the game. I kept on saying, let's just watch and see what happens in the last game. Are we going to be seeing Shakir doing the same thing, or is it going to be something different? But he's a very, and I mean literally very, very sneaky player. But we're going to keep that on hold and just see what every other team has for us tonight. But before we get there, we have to give a big shout out to every single person that has played a role in the East Africa Clash Games. One of them is GP Esports for the beautiful production. For the sponsors, we have the Esports Somali Federation. We have Kenya PUBG Pro League. We have Bravo, the player Bravo. And we also have River Rose Foundation from Kenya. So big shout out to you guys, and thank you for making the East Africa Clash Games possible. But then the most important of all, the people that matter the most are the players here for wanting to participate in these games together with you viewers as you watch these games live here on YouTube. And as you hit that like button, that's the only support I'm asking by the way, guys. If you can like my live stream, I'd really appreciate it. It really support the channel. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do so as well. I'd really appreciate it. And share the live stream link. Let's get as many people as possible watching the live stream tonight for the East Africa Clash Games semi-finale day one. We have Team Solomid here, the judgeable the upper side of Jodhpur, the northern side. That is where we have the village. Right above the village, sorry, the northern side of Judge Village, there is a team, two teams actually. Team Solomid there will be forced to engage in a fight. And Never Die Esports has a TDS power right next to them as well. Stella, they're just waiting for a chance to have anything happening towards the TDS player. Mag right above them, actually quite low. Seems like they were not able to do any looting, and now they're trying to get a push up in their own TDS mug. They joined only as a trio. I don't know why, how that happened, but it is okay. Can I hydrate? So Stella there does get a knock on TDS mug, and now that means the players from TDS need to get closer to their teammate because there's no way he's going to be revived if they don't go for that push. Vlad there going confidently does get a beautiful knock there with the shotgun. Something about these shotguns, guys, but Vlad there did that push. It seemed a little bit aggressive because with how he went, he was quite confident, and we love exactly that. We love to see it when the confidence is there, when you can see that you can take out a player. And we have Hulk there going for that push. He has to be careful because there's someone right about the hill there. But Stella, I've been the one remaining from his teammates. 12k in does try to get a P-fires. But then, I mean, TDS Hulk did not come to joke with anyone in this game, even us, the viewers. But then GG's to you, TDS, for getting the faster team back to lobby. That is Never Die Esports. And we have Rage Esports trying to get closer there to Team Solomid. Give me a second. Okay. We have a push there. Team Solomid player. That's trying to get a knock there with the shotgun. Doesn't really work, but he actually got some damage with it. And unfortunately, he was surrounded. And now we have Slime watching from afar as Rage Esports takes down his players one by one. So that's also really, really unfortunate. Let's pick something. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. And we have now, the zone is now shifting. You can see the safe zone is looking a little bit interesting because it's all the way to Novo and a little bit of the water. So I don't know if you're going to be seeing the fight there, but I hope we do see something there. But for now, we have teams closing in on each other. We can see Milta is a little bit going to be a little bit crowded. We have later esports there, aesthetic extreme as well. Is right there, Godly. That is not Godly, but ZEUS final boss is going closer to that side as well. Generation Z moving towards that side. TDS has one of their players down. Generation Z this time round are in the safe zone a little bit early. And that's really nice. I hope it doesn't really affect their gameplay or their strategy when it comes to these games. But it is exactly what happens when you're playing a competitive scene. Sometimes you want to do a certain rotation, but then it doesn't really go as planned. So for now, we can see Generation Z are a little bit open. They have a team passing by in front of them that is Invincibles. Thomas does spot the player there from Invincibles, that is Zaber, going towards the safe zone. Generation Z, as of now, quite split. Shakir is really, really low there. We can see the damage that they got on him as he was moving around with the vehicle, but then they're able to get that knock there. Kevin going for that push and kill. He's quite low. Kevin has to be careful. He's getting cover fire from the players from Invincibles, trying to get the cover on their teammate, and Zaber getting that knock on him, but then as well as Generation Z's side, there is a player giving them cover. And once they got their knockdown, Kevin, so did the Generation Z player Thomas get a knock on the player Russian. And we have a nade getting cooked up there by Thomas, trying to get him, and it actually does. And he was able to get the knocked player, from Invincibles all the way back to lobby, and that is Russian. Three players are remaining from their side, that is Kill, Shakid, and Zaber. And when we look at the players from Generation Z as well on their end, they have lost one player, and now they're just but a trio. Looking at what the scores are right now, Rage Esports is still leading. Invincible is not that far out, and if they lose this fight, they might not be able to take out Rage Esports from that position they're in right now. Thomas as well getting knocked. Zaki trying to get some space on that side. He's not able to do so, even though he's looking for that player from Invincibles. They're trying to see if they can, he can spot him, get some damage on him, and maybe take him all the way back to lobby. And that's not really the case right now. We have Zaber going towards them as well for strength. A third party, not really third party, they're in Pochinki, the hill right next to Pochinki. They are engaging in a fight against the ATLMAGICIANS. Duke and his teammates now going to be forced to engage in an early fight. We are in the last game for the semifinals at day one, and some teams have already decided to engage in the fights as early as the second phase of the zone. They did not want to change their position. Force strength has a chance of taking out Invincibles because they are exposed. They are right next to them as they take on the Magicians, but then they cannot be distracted, because if you get distracted, you will lose a fight. Magicians, the players getting the damage there, the cover fires for their teammates as they get pushed there. Duke has the mollies, the nades are going towards the players from force strength, but then nothing is really happening on their end. Invincibles as well taking on a fight. The Ocean Galaxy does get wiped out. Oh my days. ZEUS final boss there. Finally, they had a fun there in the comment section saying big fun there to ZEUS final boss, and they have actually live up to their name. They've taken on the players from Ocean Galaxy, taking them all the way back to lobby, and now ATLMAGICIANS and Force Strength, they have the players from Invincibles right next to them, but they're not going to be engaging in that fight as of now. They're still taking their time. I don't know what their strategy is going to be tonight, but I hope it is going for the chicken dinner, because if it is not, then it's going to be quite unfortunate, because you can see where they are in terms of points. They are beautiful damage from Shakid, getting Kazu's damage as he changed his position there with the scooter. A very interesting means of transport to use, because the scooter can be quite disappointing sometimes. You can see how it's moving. The speed is quite low. You can see even when you're trying to maybe run away from your enemy, you cannot do that because they're going to be seeing you, and it's going to be really hard to go away from where they can see you with how the scooter does move. But we have Magicians, they're going towards Generation Z player Zaki. Unfortunately for him, has been tasted there by the zone limit. Just one player standing from Generation Z, less than 10 seconds in. We're going to the third phase of the zone now. Teams are going to be going towards the sides of Novo, Milta Power, because that is where the safe zone is right now. We don't know if it's going to be forcing them to use the water to move from one place to the other. We don't know if Rex Squad has made the right call. We don't even know if MRUHYPERZ are the ones who have made the right call, or is it going to be Aesthetic Extreme and later eSports being the team that has landed the safest place to be in when it comes to the safe zone in this game. But let's just give it time and see how this is going to transpire. Which team is going to be able to get the winner, a winner chicken, a dinner when it comes to the last game of the night. That is a wrangle. Again, if you're watching and you've made it this far, comment your country's flag there in the comment section. Give them a big shout out. Tell them you're watching the game. If you haven't liked the live stream, hit that like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel, because this is where you'll be watching the PUBG Mobile East Africa games till the finale. And we have teams there trying to make the rotations. Teams like Rage Esports, Project X are yet to go back to the zone. They're in shelter, waiting for the teams that are going to be passing by right next to them. But Rage Esports as well is right next to them there, but not really that close enough to engage in any fight, because they're also making their rotations toward the safe zone. TDS and For Strength might encounter each other there and might make it hard for each other to make it to the safe zone. But we're going to be seeing what happens. Their farm is a little bit crowded. We have Invincibles right there. We have Magicians passing right there. Milta Power is also going to be a little bit occupied, because Neon Force is going towards that side. Rage Esports is going towards that side. Generation Z is basically in the middle of the safe zone. Using the water to move around might not be the best call right now, seeing that they have a team like Aesthetic Extreme are just waiting on the edges of the zone. They're right next to the hills, are waiting for people that are going to be using the water to make it a safe zone. So I don't know what's going to be their strategy there, but it's going to be a very tricky rotation for Generation Z. Rexport, if the zone decides to move, they are cooked. That's just it. They are cooked. TDS losing players to the zone there. In a few seconds, you're going to be seeing where the safe zone is going to be. Is it going to be Milta Power? Is it going to be where Generation Z is? But it is no longer in Milta Power, and now teams are going to be forced to get closer to each other. They are forced to getting sprayed. Also trying to make it to the safe zone. One knock in there. A beautiful spray from ATLMAGICIANS. Julio trying to make it to the safe zone as well. Does get knocked. I mean, it is not everyone's game tonight, to be honest. A lot is happening, and the Force Strength are losing players one by one. Hughes has been taken back to lobby. Julio has been taken back to lobby. Now just Kulki being the last person remaining from their team. Has a team right in front of him. That is the Invincibles. And now we can see ATLMAGICIANS. I don't know what they're up to tonight, but then they're really confident. You can see how they're going for that push. They're taking on players one by one. Project X has Arya down on Mamba Knight, and the Kurds are going to be forced to go towards the player from ATLMAGICIANS. A beautiful spray there does get a knock in, and that means Magicians are now a little bit tense, because as soon as your player gets knocked, it is not going to be an easy night for you guys. Second knock in for Magicians are getting another player from Project X, and now they're going to be going for that push card, watching from afar, waiting for a chance to get some cover sprays on their team, just to be able to get at least a few elimination points in the bag. Look at the points right now. They need to get as many points as possible. Project X going for that push there. Do get exposed. Then we have another knock there. Carter is down. One person remaining. Mamba goes for the same exact push that his teammate did. The same mistake that the teammate did. Landed in front of the enemy team and misses the first shot with the shotgun. Does miss the second shot. And this time round, I mean, you miss your shot. I use my S12K to show you how to use this gun. Only one person was right there next to the players of Magicians, and that is Kelvin. Does get the cover, and now finally they can get the revive on their knocked teammate. Rexport seems to have crossed from Novo, made it towards Milta. Now they're going to engage in a fight, and you can see the damage on later esports. Reckless vehicle is really damaged, and being the last person remaining, has been taken back to lobby. Unfortunately for Rexco tonight, they're not really having a good time when it comes to these games. You can see how they're getting pushed, how they're getting knocked. We have Neon Force are getting closer to the players from Aesthetic Extreme as well. And No Mercy went down. Before he comes back up, it's going to be a little bit tricky for him there, but we have his teammate Lambron going for that push. Beautiful spray there from Yonko, and does get a knock there on Lambron. No Mercy watching from afar, does get a knock on the player that is Yonko. Tony closing in. What is this? Oh, Aesthetic Extreme. Yuris cooks up a nade. We have a Kobe on this guy. Let's go, Tony. The nade that's coming from Yuris, that really connect, but then Tony's nade might connect, does get the damage there, and we have Tony trying to get the push happening. The S12K in hand. I mean, the S12K never disappoints if you can use it. Same as the DBS, the S1, S6, whichever DBS or S12K, whatever shotgun you want to use. At the end of the day, if you can use it correctly, you will get your kill easy peasy. Beautiful spray there from Tony. Does get the player there, Uris, from his vehicle. Still watching from afar. No Mercy is able to come back up finally. But then for the players from Aesthetic Extreme, it is GG's to you guys. Not a chicken dinner for tonight. 11 teams remaining. The zone is getting a little bit tricky. It's about to close in, and we're going to be seeing Generation Z, okay? I need you to look at Generation Z because they are holding the water. Generation Z is not on any compound, they're not on land, they're not anywhere near the teams. They have basically set camp in the middle of the ocean with their boat, and they're waiting for a chance. Because I think they're assuming if the zone is going to be there, then why not? But the zone does go far away from them, and now they have to move again with their boat and set camp the same place again. Seems to be a working strategy for them, to be honest. I've never seen such a strategy in a long time, and might actually work out if they're choosing to do it slow like that. It might actually work out, and we're going to be seeing if that's going to be the case or not. You can see the rotation they're making. Neon Force and Team SOLOMID finally getting closer to each other. Invincibles have later esports as well close to them. There is a solo next to them from TDS. I don't think he's going to be engaging at all because he needs to get as many points as possible for his team. And the best thing to do right now is to play it safe and not engage at all. Invincibles players are now looking to close in. Generation Z still holding the safe zone in the water, because that's where it seems safe for them. According to their ideal, that is what works, and no one is actually looking on that side. No one wants to see is their team coming from that side. Basically, everyone is distracted right now. Everyone is minding their own business, but Generation Z is doing the best when it comes to minding their own business. Probably just looking at the ocean, having their sweet time there, waiting for to catch fish or something. But if you go in that water and you do not know that there is a team right next to you, and that is a Generation Z, I don't think anyone can save you, even the viewers. But then we have just 11 teams again still remaining. No team has been taken back to lobby yet. Rage Esports are waiting on the players there from Team SOLOMID. They're right next to them there. Zone is about to close in. They're going to be forced to move now just to be on the safest place in the game. Slime is not moving a muscle. Being a solo is quite scary sometimes. And you can see how they're just keeping it safe there. He's keeping it safe there, to be honest. Doesn't want to expose himself at all. But MRU Hades has been taken back to lobby. The 11 teams are now getting squeezed to one location. Tacos waiting for SOLOMID player Slime to move, so that he's sure that there's someone right next to him there. And looking at ZEUS final boss there, they have a team right in front of them. They're waiting for them to move so that they can also take action and see how they're going to engage. MRUHYPERZ are trying to get a pre-nade there happening on their end. Last player from TDS Mug has been taken back to lobby. Now Neon Force losing players one by one. Lambron has been knocked, taken all the way back to lobby. Now is when the action is going to begin. Now is when the teams are going to be pushing each other, and now is where we're going to be seeing who is the best camper and who is the best IGL, because the Generation Z IGL so far is ticking the boxes, but now the zone has moved. They're going to be forced to go towards the Neon Force and later esports. These two teams, if they spot them, I don't know, it's going to be GG's to Generation Z, because they're going to be sprayed from both sides, and it will definitely cost them, depending on what happens, to be honest. But for now, it's going to be a little bit tricky for Generation Z to make it to the safe zone. We have a team like Force Strength that they have one player remaining. That's Julio. Not Julio. Jin Kulki is just keeping it safe there, just lying in bed, resting, because well, at the end of the day, I don't want to mind anyone's business. I just want to, get the chicken dinner for my team. Duke, being aware that there's someone in that room, is also trying to get some nades hooked up on that side. Later, esports joining the party. For strength player Jin Kulki just maintaining his cool, okay? He's watching this fight from afar. Teams are now closing in. Players from Generation Z might just be the ones having the toughest call to make when it comes to making it to the safe zone right now. But we have later esports player there with the smoke. Just to smoke up his place, just to make sure he's able to go for that push. Rage Esports are finally encountering the players from Invincibles, and we have a push here. Finally, ATLMAGICIANS and later esports will be taking each other on. Kelvin are just waiting patiently for someone to go for that push. Astolfke in hand has been hard there by Bomboclat. They're trying to get the space there. Bomboclat, the first knock there, gets a Zendex. They goes for that push, and we have Bomboclat there getting knocked. Second knock in. There's Astolfke from Kelvin. I mean, the man is a little bit sneaky. Shakid has been outdone here with the sneaky moves here. Calvin does get 2 knocks in on the players from later esports. A danger, and his teammates are down, and he tries to hook up a nade, but then unfortunately later esports player Jinx does go for that push and is able to take Calvin and his teammates all the way back to lobby. GG's to you, ticks there. Unfortunately, for the players from ATLMAGICIANS, that is going to be GG's to you guys. 9 teams remaining now. The zone is closing in. Generation Z are making it to the safe zone now. They're still at the edges of the zone. They don't want to get in yet. I don't know what their plan is, to be honest. Generation Z has a lot of cooking being done, but is it going to be too much cooking? Is it going to be too much spicing? Is it going to be an overcooked meal? But we have their ZEUS final boss, Panda, are trying to get to spot here. The players from later esports are just looking at them there at the petrol station. A Rage esport player, Taco's been taken down by the players from Neon Force. As you can see what is happening to the zone, it is getting smaller. Generation Z has no vehicle, okay? They're coming in late to the rotation, that's fine. But then how are they going to be moving from that hill all the way to the safe zone without the players from Neon Force spotting them, without later esports spotting them? That's something we're going to be seeing, because Generation Z seems to the most interesting team when it comes to strategy. Only one person remains standing from their team. I don't know what he's going to be doing about that, but let's just give him some credit and see what his plan is as of now. A Neon Force player, they're trying to cook up some nades on Slazy. The damage on Iconic is able to get some damage and no mercy. That's trying to cook up another nade there. Neon Force player Tony are getting closer. Rage esports closing on the player there from 4 strength. He's just but a solo and he's low. He does get the nade there cooked up, does get a pre-nade on Slazy, taking him all the way back to lobby 1000 IQ, and we love to see it. And now we have Melio trying to cook up a nade there on the 4 strength player. I don't know if that's going to be easy for Kulki. The nades are going to be flying in there. The damage might just be there, but then Kulki knows his game. He knows this room because he has been sleeping here for the longest time possible as the fights have been transpiring. He knows where to hold exactly which bed to stand on and stuff like that. But then the nade does connect, and we have a Kobe from Melio getting the last player from 4 strength. That is Kulki all the way back to lobby. But then the pre-nade, they're getting the player that is lazy. That was too beautiful to be ignored. So GG's to you again for that beautiful spray. Rage esports are watching the players from MRU as they try to make it to the safe zone. Generation Z last player there has been spotted, taking all the way back to lobby. GG's. And as those final boss closing in, Godly is down. Kairos been the last person remaining from his team. He has the players from later esports right in front of him. He has no grenade to get a pre-nade happening there. Has only just Baramoli. Might be able to help him. Might be able to get some damage on the players from later esports. But will that be enough? They are aware that there's someone right next to them. They just don't know where this guy is. And the player from ZEUS final boss is very patient. Kairos waiting for later esports. So 4 teams remaining. ZEUS final boss, Neon Force, later esports, and Rage esports still making it to the last fight zones. I mean, Rage esports IGL is really overworking, and the working is actually paying out, because you can see every single game Rage esports has made it to the final. We have Kairos, they're being Kobe actually, and there we go. GG's, that was an easy Kobe, because he was just but a solo and he was exposed there. And we have now later esports trying to get the chicken dinner finally. Second chicken dinner in a row. Is that going to be possible? Neon Force, 1 player remaining from their side. They're trying to get the revive, but is it going to be possible? We have Ticks, they're going for that push. They're trying to get the revives happening. Neon Force, last time almost got their chicken dinner. They lost it to Rage esports a second time now. They're almost getting the chicken dinner. No mercy. Are trying to heal up. Probably this might just be the game where they get the chicken dinner. But then Bombo Clat does get a flank there. No mercy does get a damage on Bombo Clat. Waiting for him to make a mistake. The sprays there. They doesn't get something happening on the player there, Bombo Clat. But then nothing is changing. Ticks there with the nade. Might just be a Kobe on Tony. Let's watch that beautiful nade connect. It doesn't really connect. But then Danger does get knocked there by the players from Neon Force. Tony is quite low. Tries a heal up. Now we have a push there happening. The Ticks, they are getting closer. He's almost finishing the healing actually. Ticks outside the zone. He's a little bit low, but then unfortunately I don't know what to say. But then it seems like later esports, second chicken dinner in a row. We love to see it. GG's to you guys. That win was well deserved. Congratulations again to later esports. Won the first game of the night, Erangel. And they have won the last game again tonight in Erangel. So again, GG's to you guys. You have deserved it, and we love to see it. Later esports, I don't know what you guys are on. I don't know what happened. I don't know what changed. But then you guys have deserved the win. You have gotten your winner chicken dinner. You might have lost it, by the way, if Neon Force had more players, because the same thing happened in Miramar. Neon Force has just 2 players remaining. They're forced to find a way of surviving. So yeah, there is some sort of 50-50 on this last game fight. But then GG's again to you later. Esports, Neon Force, there is a chance for you guys to get a maybe winner some other day, tomorrow, the other day, depending on how you guys play. But we have a Bombo Clat getting 2 eliminations, a dealing a damage of 473. Tix getting 2 eliminations at a damage of 424. Ramo 5 eliminations, a damage of 525, and we have Danger there getting 4 eliminations and a damage of 580. I mean, yo, if this does not make you question yourself and how these things are happening and how teams are losing easy wins, they are about to get their chicken dinners, but then that is not the case because maybe they were not prepared or they were outnumbered, and that is exactly what has happened there. And later, esports was able to get their chicken dinner. Looking at the stats there. Later, esports 23 total points. The bag Rage getting 13. Tiny ZEUS final boss. Neon Force having 11. ATLMAGICIANS 7. Force Strength. Tiny with MRU with 5 points. TDS Power and Invincibles at 4 points. Generation Z 3. Team SOLOMID 2. Aesthetic Extreme 1. Project X, Ocean Galaxy, Never Die Esports, and Rex Squad each having 0 points from that game. That is also quite unfortunate, to be honest. But GG's to you guys. There we have the man of the match being later esports player Ramo, getting 5 eliminations, a damage of 525. 1 assist, survives a total of 23 minutes and 19 seconds, and gets 2 knockouts through that game. So judges to you later, esports player Ramo. There, we love to see it. Good stuff on the chicken dinner. Second win of the night. Y'all deserved it. GG's again, Erangel and Erangel. Good stuff to you guys. Looking at the head-to-head right now, and we're going to be checking on later esports and Rage Esports. Later esports getting 13 eliminations in total, with Rage Esports getting 8. We have 2,000 damage dealt on later esports and 1,242 damage on Rage Esports. Total knockouts for later esports at 9, with Rage Esports at 6 knockouts. Total time in the blue for later esports at 17 seconds. But for Rage Esports, it is 5 minutes and 46 seconds there. The rotations are quite hard to be done because of how many fights are happening concurrently. But then these things happen, and GG's to you again, later Esports, for getting the winner chicken dinner when it comes to this game. Actually, just to give you guys a heads up, only 10 teams qualified to the finale. So will your team be making it to the finals? Out of the teams playing, 10 teams qualify to the finale. I hope you guys, when we get here, you're looking at how the teams are doing their rotations. You can see the teams that made the right calls. The team that engaged in early fights, I don't know about Generation Z. I'm still surprised with how they have really taken on these fights. They have really, I mean, Generation Z has been doing very funny rotations. I don't know what has been coming in their mind or how they have been going about it, but for this last game, it was actually quite interesting. They decided to stay at the water the whole time. They came all the way from Pochinki. They saw fights happening. They didn't engage in a single fight. They went and took a boat around just here by the edge and close to farm. They took that boat, they went all the way, used the water the whole time. From that time, from the second phase of the zone, they moved with the boat from that time till the end of the game. So I don't know what Generation Z's plan is, but I don't think that plan or strategy is the best for now. And looking at Invincibles, they almost had again a beautiful game, but then they lost players one by one. It did disadvantage them, and that is actually, sometimes it does happen, but it does cost a team because you need to find your bearing, you need to find how you're going to go about it just to be able to get the chicken dinner. And you can see how Generation Z was going about it. Neon Force, later esports, held on the same ground, didn't really expose themselves, and now that that's what they chose to do, Generation Z had a hard time making it to the safe zone. But every other team, their team SOLOMID, they had a solo slime. He held it out as much as he could. didn't manage to get a chicken dinner, but I think the placement points did count for a team like Invincibles there. They did try their best as well, just to be on the upper side of things there, just to make sure their rotations are right. But then MRU came in, took their position from them, and that of course does happen sometimes. But then GG's to you guys as well. And just when we got to the final zone, that's when it became a little bit interesting, and we saw what happened. We saw teams have been taken back to lobby. So GG's again. Later esports for the beautiful winner chicken dinner. Y'all deserved it. Today's matches, we had Erangel game 1, later esports got the chicken dinner. Game 2, Miramar, we had Rage esports getting the chicken dinner. Game 3, we had Sunhawk. Invincibles got the chicken dinner. And when it came to game 4, that is Erangel, we had later esports again getting the winner chicken dinner. Congratulations again to every single team that has gotten a chicken dinner tonight. Later esports, Rage esports, and Invincibles. Good stuff to you guys. And I'm hoping when you come to play again on the third day of the semifinals, that you're going to be putting up the same show. But let's see what just happened there from the teams that played tonight. Rage Esports leading with 52 points. Later, just next to them there with 49. Invincibles with 39 in the third place. 10 points margin between position 2 and 3, so that's going to be interesting to see what's going to change there. Neon Force with 36, TDS 31, Force Strength at 30, then the margin now grows. Aesthetic Extreme 21, this Final Boss 19, Team SOLOMID 18, Gen Z 18, okay, ATLMAGICIANS 14, tied with MRUHYPERZ at 14. So the margins actually are not that big. The only place that we have the margin is only come from the position 1 all the way to position 3. That is where now the margin starts to move there. Project X coming 13 with 8, Ocean Galaxy with 7, Never Die Esports 2 points, Rex Squad 2 points, and then these other teams are yet to play from position 17 to 23. These teams are yet to play in the semifinals, so we can't really say that they have not really done anything, because in reality they have not really done anything. They have not yet participated in the game. Well, I have really enjoyed tonight's games. To be honest, it has been a nice time with you guys. It is just the start of the semifinals. When day 1, we have seen Group A versus Group B. Tomorrow we'll be seeing another group playing as well, and I'm hoping to see you guys there. But for now, it is going to be a good night. I hope you guys, when you get here, you will get to like, share, and subscribe to the live stream. And I've been your host, Mitch Gaming, and I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye bye.